After a scorching start to the season, the Dubs have lost the last two games, losing to both the Spurs and the Nets in epic fashion, starting with a 12-3 record, now being 12-5 with the Thunder coming up just tonight. The Dubs clearly need to turn something around. But with winning almost 12 games straight, the Dubs clearly had something going. But what's changed? In today's video, we're going to break down everything that I believe has changed and why some of the old issues that the Dubs had last year might be coming around once again. One of the players that's probably gotten the most hate for the Dubs this season has been Brandon Podziemski, and he's the center of this play right here on offense versus the Nets. What you're going to see here is Podziemski is essentially trying to run a pick and roll at the start with Trayce Jackson-Davis, who's been getting a lot more minutes lately with where we have Gary Payton II and Andrew Wiggins on the other side of the court with Lindy Waters kind of spacing the floor. As we play this clip a little bit more right here, what you're going to see is a nice bounce pass by Brandon Podziemski to Trayce Jackson-Davis. And TJD is in a great position to essentially finish this. Or if you notice here, Dennis Schroeder is kind of splitting both of these players. And it seems like the Warriors are a little lazy here. Andrew Wiggins should have, reached towards the three-point line, towards the corner. Or, Gary Payton should have. But they both seem kind of content with, okay, this is probably going the other way. You see GP2 already going. But that was a tough finish for Trayce Jackson-Davis. It wasn't exactly something he could do easily. So that's something we really have to watch for this season. Is TJD going to be able to finish those types of shots? But also, are the Warriors going to start feeling their wins? Are they going to start saying, hey, we're a 12-3 team. We're a well over 500 team. We're just going to kind of play a little bit lazily and think we can win games. And throughout this video, I think I'll showcase for you guys, the Warriors aren't a incredibly talented team. This isn't the KD Warriors. This is a team that has to go all out every single night, even versus poor competition, just because the strength of this team isn't the top end talent and them outscoring everyone. The talent in this team is in the depth and the fact that their eighth man is better than your eighth man. Their ninth man is better than your ninth man. And this really showcased itself to me on defense. So we have Gary Payton II guarding Dennis Schroeder right here. And Dennis Schroeder was definitely a problem for us to guard this game. Dennis passes it off to Keon Johnson right here. And Steph Curry's kind of right up in his grill, but he doesn't close out to the three-point shooter. And you're like, why am I highlighting this? I think this is one of those things where we maybe forgot to read the scouting report. We took this team a little bit too lightly. We were playing pretty close to back-to-back. Maybe Steph Curry didn't know that Keon Johnson's actually a pretty okay three-point shooter. And the way he had it shooting this game, he should have closed all the way out. Everyone else was pretty much set in defense, as you can see. I mean, there really wasn't an advantage created by that pass by Dennis Schroeder to the weak side. In fact, you'd think passing it towards the middle of the court actually would have been the advantage, as it would have helped against the double team. But I think that's really a lack of scouting report reading. And I think that's something that the Warriors can't forget to do as we keep going. And obviously Steph's going to make some of those mistakes sometimes, but that's more of just to highlight the fact that the Warriors need to continue to stay vigilant. Once again, here we have Brandon Podziemski at the center of this play guarding Schroeder. I want to just look at how much space he gives up this entire. So right here, there's like about this much space. Here, there's still about that much space between them. And we see GB2 is essentially like, oh, okay, I'm probably going to need help here. Draymond Green is kind of going to be like, okay, I probably need to help here. And that's really off of just a quick first step from Dennis Schroeder. And this type of shot here, which Brandon Podziemski gets an okay contest, but Draymond actually gets the better contest in my opinion here, and Dennis Schroeder makes the shot, really showcases how the Warriors this season are going to need to likely upgrade at that perimeter defense position. And it also showcases just how important DeAnthony Melton was. That ACL injury is kind of huge. We don't have another wing defender besides Andrew Wiggins that's an elite anything really else that can guard guards. And GP2 is good, but he really can't shoot, and he's been struggling these games, and in terms of shooting the three and everything of that nature. This game, the Spurs, we were up big in this game. At one point, we were still up with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Honestly, I thought we were going to win this game. Andrew Wiggins was having a great game. It was the type of game you feel like we win. Andrew Wiggins is breaking down off the dribble right here. Pass it to TJD. Clearly a Warriors play to basically make it so that the center is sagging off of TJD. They know Steph Curry is getting face guarded, but what they're going to try to do against a young team is have TJD use the fact that he's out on the perimeter and is the person guarding him is in the paint and screen off that defender. And they do a pretty good job here, I think. But actually, the problem with that was Steph Curry didn't really come all the way towards TJD, and I think that's because he wanted to stay around the 3 point line. That's why I feel like some of these plays work better with Kevon Looney. Actually, that him in that position, he would definitely have went to the 3 point line, set the screen kind of more like right here, so that Steph could have gone off it and then kind of shot it from here. But he didn't. It's TJD. He's a little bit young. He obviously doesn't know the plays nearly as well as Looney. And so right here, it actually kind of walks Steph Curry into a double team. And Wembanyama is huge. Why Steph Curry decides to do this, I know not. I think he's just trying things. But the fact that he thinks he can wrap around a pass of Victor Wembanyama that close to the baseline is just kind of insane. And Wembanyama basically palms the ball, gets it, and that's a turnover. And that's another thing that's really plagued the Warriors late in games. I know the game's pretty much over, but just kind of highlighting once again the turnovers from Steph Curry. He gets in a good position here, just kind of tosses the ball well over there, and honestly should have been a potential turnover. And also a showcase of kind of the poor Warriors spacing. It seems like everyone thinks they have the same job here. Lindy Waters thinks, oh, hey, like this is supposed to be my ball, but Buddy Hield clearly ran over here thinking, oh, I should get this. If one of them was in the corner, this would be a wide open shot. But instead, since both of them are really in the same place, they're going to see a hand. And so Lindy Waters passes better 3 point shooter, but I mean, they're all closing out to him, and it's a much easier closeout, and it changes that shot altogether. And so the big things I've been noticing for this Warriors team in these two losses is lack of attention to detail. The Warriors aren't paying attention enough, I feel like, to the scouting report and making sure that they clobber these teams, and the attention to effort, because I feel they maybe are feeling their wins a little bit too much, and they're not scouting and playing their best in each single possession, knowing that maybe we can just blow them out. This should be an easy game. We're a little bit tired from the back-to-back. But the Warriors can't take a night off. Our strength is in our depth. Our strength is not in our top end. And with Steph Curry out tonight versus the Thunder just came up, it might be a tough game versus the Thunder as well. So expect a 12-5 Warriors team, 12-6 Warriors team that's been faltering recently. I hope we see a turnaround, though, with Steph Curry turning the ball over less and us paying more attention to the details. Thank you guys for watching.